Okay, I am back. I hope YouTube doesn't do anything funny to this live stream. Yep. I'm not sure. I'm just going to continue, I guess, with my website and we see what's up. Wait. Am I supposed to be live now? I think so. Okay, cool. Right now, I have no idea what I'm trying to do. Again, every single time it's like this. So what I am going to do is to open up my website and I'll see if there's anything I can change that looks broken that I want to improve. Let's see. Okay, there's definitely this part right now because I changed my text, so it doesn't look right anymore. But other than that, I think I'm quite okay with the rest of the pages. So what I am going to do is to do some CSS refactoring instead. There won't be much. There won't be much visual changes to the website. So let me go ahead and fix the about page right now. Easy way to do this is not to float the image, and that should be fine. Alright, that kind of looks okay, and this should go away, and we're fine. This should go away too, and I'm good with this page. Okay, so going to remove this. Into some old. Oh, this is an article that I created. So I'm just going to. Okay. This one as well. Commit it. Commit this. Alright, the about page, I'm gonna commit this. In. Done. So is anyone there? I'm not too sure. If anyone is there, just give me a thumbs up or do a chat and let me know. So at least I know that this is fine. And we are online properly. Because I always seem to have problems with going online on YouTube, and I'm kind of a little bit in a panic mode if it doesn't work out right. So I'm really not sure if I'm not online or if I'm online. I hope I am. So I'm just gonna close this off and continue as if nothing is happening. Okay, now let's go into the SCSS file, since I'm going to refactor my styles. So first of all, there's a lot of code, some patterns, reset files, layouts, certain objects and loaders and blah, utils, and there's a ton of things under shame that I want to clean up. So let's put it back. SR only stands for screen reader only. I can put this inside reset. Okay, so this is the first thing I'll do. Second thing I'll do is to go back to my CSS, my new CSS reset that I have written about. I think it's under here. Yeah, my CSS reset. This is my new personal reset, but I did not use it for my current site. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the reset.css in this file and replace my old reset, my current reset file, and see if anything changes. I think some things do change, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Now let me go back to my page. Gonna do a quick check to make sure that nothing is off. Here we see things that are off here right now straight away, because there's list styles now. Yeah, I had list style none for UL, but I didn't have list style none for OL. But that doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna remove. Wait, why am I using OL here? No, this one doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna go to my footer and change it back to UL. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Now that's better. Okay, cool. Now I'm spotting some errors here when it comes to the line height. So I'm gonna make a few changes here as well. This will be footer nav. Oh, wait, I actually have that somewhere. Oh, it's here. It's here in the styles. Here, this is it. Copy, paste it back into the footer. This would be line height of 1.3. Still not working out well. Might not be a line height issue then. Maybe it's the LI. Yep, it's definitely the LI and not the thing there. So interesting. Why does that happen? Okay, so this is fine. And this is not. Alright, let's just change that first. I think it makes sense to make the footer a little bit tighter anyway, so I'm fine with this. If I have line height like that, I don't need this. No. I see, that's why. This is why. Yes. The display inline block is the problem. Okay, this is much better than before. Can anyone see me, or can anyone hear me, or is nobody here? I kinda need to know. Because I'm not sure if I'm talking to myself. I hope I'm not talking to myself. Just want to make sure we can see me. Okay, yeah, cool. Alright, great. Oh, my chat is not the correct one. No wonder I can't see anyone. It looks so weird. Okay, in that case, let me go and pop up the correct chat. I hope it can pop this chat out. Yep. If Omar, can you type into the channel once again? So just to make sure I'm on the right chat this time around. I hope I'm on the right chat. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and continue to code in the meantime. Let's see. What else is there that I want to change? This doesn't sound and this doesn't sound like something that's really conducive today, because I'm just going to refactor stuff. Not very glamorous, or not. There's nothing really to show. So I'm feeling a little bit nervous about showing how I actually code, and the dirty code behind my website, which I don't really pay a lot of attention to my own stuff sometimes. Okay, I changed the reset file. Let's go back to styles.css and see if there's anything I want to change now. Oh wait, styles here, footer there. Now that's the first thing. Image grid. What's this image grid? And this is making me confused. Okay, so let's take a look at image grid, and where I see it. Looks like I'm not using it, so I'm going to remove this. YouTube. Alright, let's see why I'm using the YouTube. Lots of it. I'm gonna check for markdown files. YouTube. This is an iframe embedded directly, so we're cool. There's no YouTube class. I'm gonna check with class equals to YouTube. There's one here. Okay, and is there anything else? There is one here where I have a YouTube. This is 11t shortcode. 11t shortcode. That means I need to. Okay, this should be in post if I'm not wrong. So in post with a YouTube or rather a video. Yes, this one. This is my YouTube share link in some of my articles that I created way before. So if I go into blog slash semicolons, for example, I should see a YouTube. Yep, this is the one I'm talking about. So with this, I can create it, and in this case, I have the YouTube class inside a post. So I might as well put it inside a post as CSS because they don't appear anywhere else. But they do appear in my article section. So if I jump back a few articles, I think it's somewhere around here. Yeah, like this one. They don't look very good right now. In that case, I think it makes sense to create a YouTube component instead, or media component, something similar to that. I'm just gonna create a media component for now and see how we run with it. So media, and just to make sure, we have to import media. Wait, it's not there? Components. And I'm gonna put the YouTube one in, so there shouldn't be any changes at this point. Okay, good. YouTube will be in an iframe, so let me inspect this element. Okay, there's a margin top that comes from empty. Not something we want. It's border 0. I don't think that's required. Width of 100% is required, and height. I set a specific height back then, but I think YouTube has there's probably an image ratio thing, so I'm just gonna take a screenshot thing. 850 and 850 and 480, I think. So height is so 850 is width and 480 is height. I remember I can use a padding bottom trick, so let's try that out. Can't remember which is which. Maybe the height goes on top in the numerator and the width goes below, and height should be 0 in this case. Nope, that doesn't work out at all. Let's see what happens. The iframe is correct, but the inner document doesn't show if height is set to 0, I think. Yeah, I think that's the issue here. So we do need a height for it to show up. Can I set height to a percentage? I can't actually remember this. Nope, height as a percentage doesn't work at all. So what should I do? Can't remember. Let's try googling for it. Ooh, this is something new. Fluid video width. This is the height auto. Let's try. Will that work? That doesn't really work for the YouTube video. Yeah. Mm, hmm. So it looks like the best way is to create a wrapper, like this one, video wrapper, and put the iframe inside. Okay, that sounds okay to me. Think we have this YouTube here. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'm supposed to wrap it inside another div. So I can just say media in that case. Let's grab this. Position relative, padding bottom, yes. Padding top, I don't need to keep padding top. And then the iframe within would be position absolute. Let's grab this. And I won't need a YouTube class in that case. Let's go back. Yes, it worked. So we have a good YouTube thing going on. Okay, great. Then I can remove the rest. And I'll add a comment at the top. It says YouTube video so I can remember what it is. And moving down, I remember I had an audio thing somewhere because I kind of started a podcast for some time. Decided not to do it anymore after a while. And those would be under audio, I think. Or podcast. Yeah, so here is it. I think there is one here. Okay, your first git commit, and this is the slot. So just let me get to this. 10th August 2018. This first git commit seems like quite long ago. Okay, this one. I apparently have an audio that is not found anymore. Okay, in that case I can simply remove it because I removed my Simplecast account if I am not wrong. In that case, and then I'll just remove the podcast links. just doing a lot of cleanup here. Hi Ash. If anyone is there and wants to say hi, please feel free to pop into the chat and say hi. Otherwise, it gets a little bit boring, or lonely when I'm up here live streaming. Podcasts, remove all the podcasts, remove all the podcasts. I should not have any more podcasts after that. Okay, the next thing I want to check for is this. Yep, I can remove this now because there's no more podcasts. Hey, Sonic. Remove this. And remove this. So I remove all my podcast stuff. Then I stop making videos and that's fine. Okay, cool. I should not have any podcasts now. So yeah, the first git commit doesn't have a podcast anymore. That's cool. I think I had an article where I still should have an audio file with Chris Leonard about resumes and getting hired and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna search it up first. What was it? Yeah, this one. How to go through the job application process. And sadly, there's an audio not found thing there. I think I saved the audio somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't remember where it is before I took down my podcast. So that sucks. That sucks. I'm sorry, Chris. I lost my audio. Okay, let's see. Where can it be? Where can it be? Is it in my... I'm gonna search my drive folders just in case I popped it in there. No, I don't think so. Nope, not here. Nope, not there. So this article is missing an audio, and that was an important article. I'm gonna create a thing here to fix it in future, because I don't want to get blocked as I am working on what I'm working on today. So let me just continue to clean things up. Then now I have this code that I don't need anymore. Oh wait, there's an audio 2 as well. So when do I get audio 2? There's podcast 2. Podcast 2, there's only this one that's left. I don't think it works as... Oh, this is the Chris one. Yeah, this doesn't work anymore too. I'm just going to remove it. Then that will allow me to clean up the what was that called again? The post.nunjucks file. So I can remove the podcast things. Yeah, I think I can remove the cover images as well. I don't really create cover images at all, so let's remove them. under 11T, site wide, I think. I can remove the audio ones. Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to change this around a little bit because it doesn't make sense for me to use a shortcode here if it's the only place I'm using the shortcode. And since I already have the video tag which I'm porting over, I might as well just paste it in here and it will work out well. So, hey Savas, I should be able to comment this thing out and replace it with the actual video. Yep. And instead of calling it video, I think it makes more sense to call it YouTube link. I like to make things more specific nowadays. It's slightly easier to read and understand compared to video, because video can be Vimeo, can be YouTube, can be lots of things. I want to make things explicit so it's easier for me to understand. And if I change that to YouTube, what that means is I need to search through all my files and change video to YouTube link. No. Replace, search and replace. And that should work. If I go back to this, why do I have a video here? Okay, something went wrong, doesn't matter. The video is still working fine here. Let me go back to the job application process. Okay, so I need an if statement. Before I put this down. And should be good. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so at least we clean things up, and there's a blog page that also uses that YouTube thing. So it's this one. Oh, this was why I created a shortcode previously. I'm not a fan of shortcodes anymore, as much as I would like it, because I kind of have to write in JavaScript as what you saw here, compared to me writing in nunjucks, which I thought was a good idea in the past, but I don't think so anymore. Because they're just two separate things and I don't want to get used to two different formats. So what happens is I can create, instead of a shortcode, I can create a macro in nunjucks. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. Just net macros. Yep. I'm gonna create a macro and say YouTube .njk, or maybe media. So in future I can have other kinds of media, and macro YouTube hash. If I have a YouTube hash, then I return this. I'm not gonna call it YouTube link anymore. Let's put hash back in here. If this goes well, I should be, let me just comment this part out first. Go back to my post, work on one thing at a time. I should be able to import my macro, which is in the includes folder, that's taken care of by 11t straight away. So it's in my layout. No, sorry, in my macros folder. Media as media. I think that makes sense. And then I'm gonna do a set YouTube as media dot. Yeah. So in this case, I can simply say, can't remember the syntax. I think it's this. Wait, let me Google nunjux syntax. Nunjux import. Here we go. Yeah, that's a normal variable. So let's try it. Oh, yeah. YouTube link. If this goes well, I should have 2 YouTube videos pointing to the same link. Let's see if I have any errors. Oh, media.nunjuk. Yeah, kind of forgot about that. Okay, let's refresh the page. Cool, so this is good now, and I can simply remove the YouTube link. It looks like more code compared to before, but I understand this code much better. It already tells me where to find the source file and what I'm using a macro compared to uh, uh, something that suddenly like share article, which this is a short code, but to me it suddenly doesn't make sense because I can't remember where to find this thing. I have to go and dig through my folders for it, and it makes searching through the files a little bit harder. This makes more sense to me at my current stage of development. Yeah, when I did this, I was trying to make things how do I put it, smarter in a way, because I wanted to put everything in JavaScript if I can. Not a good idea anymore. So this is why I switched back. Now if I want this in my blog page, it's gonna be as simple as this. Like import the same thing. I don't even need the set YouTube statement here. I can say media.youtube and it makes sense too. This would clean up the text a little bit. I'm gonna do that the same thing here. Media.youtube. Now if I go back to my blog page, I think that would be, where is it again? Okay, that should be maybe in the 7th or 8th page in articles. So I'm just going to try. Okay, an error occurred. Let's see what's the error here. Okay, there is a YouTube player, but embed with empty slash. So looks like my post.data.video, I probably should do this then, if do a if statement. Whoa, oops. If statement, yeah. Then I import and create. Should be fine in this case. because this aren't articles with YouTube videos. Yep, cool. But I think this is an article with a YouTube video. So I'm not doing it correctly in this case. So what I am going to do to check is to dump the post.data. I think the syntax was like this. I can't remember it properly. I'm just gonna dump it inside the DOM and see if, just to debug it. Oh, did I make a mistake? Collection closes the circle. Circular JSON. Okay. Let me just put post data in here and see if I can get anything. Okay, it's an object. Now do a dump. Nope. Let's try nunchucks dump. I can't remember the syntax sometimes. For nunchucks, I don't know why. I can remember JavaScript syntax quite well, but not. Wait, it's supposed to be dumpable, so I'm not wrong with the syntax. Let's see. I'm going to try logging one thing at a time. I think it's okay. So the article title is here. I think it's YouTube link instead of video, which is why. Oh wait, yes, it's YouTube link instead of video. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's this one. And now looking back, this is a hash and not a link, so it doesn't make sense to say YouTube link, right? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to say YouTube link. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some more changes. I'm gonna search for YouTube link and change it to YouTube hash. Replace everything and we are cool. Should work still. Should still work. Please work. Alright, cool. Should still work. Yep, it is working. So yeah, Sherpa is asking what am I showing today. I'm basically going through my blog and refactoring things. Right now what I'm doing is changing back 11t shortcodes back to nunchucks imports, and why I'm explaining why I prefer nunchucks imports compared to shortcodes. Just going back and cleaning up the code as much as possible and do a find and replace to clean all the different things up. So not very sexy, it's mostly a cleanup video. So I'm pretty much cleaning up the YouTube and video things now. And I realize I'm working on master again. This is a bad habit of mine. But since nothing has broken, so I'm going to switch to development, the dev branch first. I'm going to put everything back in. My original intention was to refactor the CSS. I am just changing up the HTML as I go along. So let's go into the next item in let me just remove the to-do post date here. There's a summary post. I'm just gonna leave this be. I don't think I can change it much. Is there anything that I can improve to make this part a little bit simpler? I should probably reformat this sooner or later. I mean refactor this sooner or later. Yep, the rest are fine. This is the article series part that I showed last week. Alright, let's do the article nav, which is actually inside the post. Should be inside post because only articles, post articles have them. And instead of calling them article nav, I think I'm gonna call them post nav. So I'm doing another find and replace for this. Like I said, I only use it in post, so it should be a pretty easy find and replace. Okay. Yep. We are still cool. This is the post nav I was talking about, but something break along the way. Let's see what. I have no idea what broke, but shouldn't be a big problem. I can just fix it up. I think this is a display flex thing. Oh, why is there a data type outline? Okay. My SVG should not be block. This is the problem. So I'm gonna change it back. Like, oh, I see why the reset broke it. The SVG. So I'm gonna remove SVG as block because it shouldn't be. And since I did this, I might as well update my reset repo. So this is what I do when I have when I change new things. I like to keep the repository as updated as possible. So I keep going back and update the things that I realized. Because when I wrote the post, I copied paste certain things around, and not all of them are correct. And sometimes I add new ideas. So this makes it good. Fix up SVG and push. Just gonna wait for it to push, and I am gonna go back. I think it's pushed. Okay, cool. Yep, pushed. Close it. Going back to my file. Alright, so there's nothing much for me to change here. Why is this not showing up? Wait, creating good analogies should not have a YouTube video. So there are some, like this one should not have a YouTube video either. So post, there's a problem here. Media YouTube, I think I can fix it inside the media here. If hash, then I'm going to show the otherwise nothing. Wait, I think it's like this for white space. Okay, cool. Much better than before. Now, next thing. What's the next thing? Yeah, this is fine now. I don't know if what I'm showing is helpful. If you have any questions, you can write it in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. Um, yeah. For series layout, the series layout is for the series part, which is only inside post, so I can put it inside post as well. Hmm. Now I have a table. I remember there was a table that didn't really work out well, but let me put this into home first. Alright, just gonna throw it in. Find a way to style tables properly. Where's the article that I have a table on? Let me go and find it. I think it's this article. Yes, this one. Inconsistent button behavior. And here's the broken table. Here's the broken table. No. Okay. Let's see what I can do with this table. Um, hmm. I'm not good at styling tables. I haven't been doing it for a while. So if anyone have any ideas, you can let me know. Should I make this scrollable instead? Because it feels like I should make this table scrollable. Let me just Google styling tables. If I have no idea about how I should style this table, I think I'll leave it to another video after I properly thought about it. Okay. I don't think cell padding is going to help because the problem right now it's the table is a little bit too short for all the content. If it's huge like this, like enough space. What's enough space? Oh wait, that's not enough space anyway. Yeah. So I think the problem is because the table is a little bit too short. I'm not too sure how I want to restyle it. Well, just going to do a quick Google and see if there's anything I can find. I don't think so. Alright, I'm not gonna work on tables today. It's a bit too much work to be reformatting this. So notes. I did remember I had some notes. So let's go for note. This is the syntax. It's in my it's relatively new. in my articles, like this one. Yeah, this is kind of like the note call out. Let me grab a bottle of water. I don't drink enough today. All right, first problem. Post layout first of type will have a bigger font size. Not this is not something that I don't want. Yeah, this is something I don't want. Let me go back to post.css. Then can do a specific one, I think. And okay, that's fixed. And these notes are going to be in post. I'm thinking of creating a new component for it because they can be in other kinds of articles as well, but they most likely will be in post. Then, you know, the whole problem with thinking about components too much is we optimize too early in a way. Then things become a little bit messy. So I'm wondering whether I should create a new component or whether I should put it inside post directly and let it be. In this case, I think I'm gonna go create a new component and call it notes. So CSS note. Gotta grab all of this and put it inside note. Alright, I have an error. What's my error? Yeah, here it is. Import components. Note. It's not. Oh, move the file to. Now we're good. Do I want to restyle note a little bit here? It's okay, it's not perfect. Probably there's too much of a call out compared to I think there's too much of a call out in this case. I don't really want that much of a call out for a note. It catches too much attention, so I'm probably gonna change it to like a border thing to see if it's better. I hope it gets a little bit better. Yeah, I think this is much better compared to the other ones. So I can remove some stuff. And the note word should probably go up to 0.7 ems because my line height is set to 1.4. Okay, cool. Or maybe I can even do this line height set to 1 and that should clear things up. Top 0.5. No, that doesn't really work. Oh wait. Oh, line height is already 1. Well. Yeah, I have table layout fixed, and that it's kind of like a way to tame table layouts. I probably need more research on tables, to be honest. I really don't understand tables as much as I should. So I'm gonna spend a day looking at it in future. Let's take a look. It's going past it. It's not very nice. probably a little bit of padding. Yeah, no worries. It's kinda too many articles. Uh, oh yeah. Since I'm here, let me talk about this thing that I noticed recently. So before I would try to, I have this format for writing CSS properties. So I will start with display, like or display. This is my. Let me create a new. Uh, nope. Language. So nope. All right. So this is what I would do. Yeah. Now. Okay. I'll first put display properties. Like display. Okay. Let's do display. Then okay, let me just save it somewhere so it doesn't keep popping up. Okay, display. Then there's position. So position will usually come first because there's like relative, block, fix, and all that stuff. I would put position first and all the top, bottom, left, right properties. Then we'll go with display. If it's display block, this is quite simple. There's nothing to write about. If it's say display grid, then I would write grid template columns, grid gap, all the stuff here. And then what I noticed most people do, and what I did way just a few months ago, maybe even a few weeks ago, is the next thing we write is margin. Margin say 5 m. Then padding 0.5 m. Then the next thing I see is border. So let's try it. Let's do this. Then the next thing I see is font size, line height, font weight, and all the other stuff, for example. Okay, what I've noticed recently is because sometimes we use EM here, sometimes I use RAM, sometimes I use EM. If I need to use EM, I need to refer to the font size. And it makes sense to put the font size slightly ahead of the margins and paddings. Then I can screen downwards and understand that these numbers came from the font size. So this is where I position my font size elements at this point. But I am also thinking of moving it all the way up. Because why? The top left, bottom right might be influenced by font size. But I think it's going to a bit too extreme if I put it all the way up, and it's not as important as display properties. So right now this is a happy medium for me. Just sharing if anybody would find this useful, since I noticed this part. Yeah. So now I'm back to my SCSS file, and the only thing I have here is table. For me that's fine for now. I want to look at other stuff. Inputs, buttons. Yeah, I complain about having like mix-ins and stuff in one of my earlier live streams. I think I'm gonna change this one next. If I see inputs, this is fine. Okay, let me just change things up. Hey Shama, it's going good. I'm just wondering what to do with my SCSS. Trying to improve it as I go along. It's not easy refactoring the code that you have written 2 to 3 years ago. Yeah. So there are a few things in my reset that I've already covered, like for button, I have a line height that is inherited. The fonts should be inherited by default, so I don't think it's needed. Maybe. I'm just going to comment it out and see if that. Let me find a button. Okay, this is a button. No, let's not use this. Where do I have buttons? I don't really have buttons anymore. Oh my god, where do I have buttons? And you know the funny thing, I only have buttons in my styles file. I don't use it anywhere else in my... Oh wait, I had a dot. Okay. There's the button in the form, in navigation. Those are the only 2 buttons, so it makes sense if I go to the contact page. This is my button. Alright, the primary button, I had this O button primary and O button flat, which is quite confusing, to be honest. But I'm gonna look for the contact page button first. Let's take it one step at a time. Okay, so the green one is secondary. For some reason I chose to name it secondary. Although I think this should be actually be the primary action. Quite funny how I do things sometimes. Thinking back, I have no idea why I do this. But let's see. I have this secondary, so we're cool. Let's see how that goes. If I decide to remove the font size inherit part, it works. So I'm not gonna worry about this one. Font border 1 pixels to balance with input. Okay, this makes sense. But why do I have to balance with the input? I don't have to, because there's no one line. There's no form that is, in some cases you have the button that is directly next to here. Then I need to balance my input. In this case, I don't think I need to balance my input. Yep. Text in button feels slightly low, bumping pad, which links me to this remove link underline, and this gets on my nerves. Why? Because I have tried to be... I think I went a little bit too extreme. Shama, what have you used for deploying your blog, Firebase, AWS? Also, what I'm doing is very simple. I deploy it directly with rsync. So I SSH into... Let me just show it to you. Gulp. So I use Gulp as my build tool, and I wrote a book on it. So it's called Automate Your Workflow. Let me just get the link. If anyone is interested, yeah, I'm going to paste it in chat. So what I have is this deploy CI, and deploy secrets. So these are the 3 things I have. Deploy basically synchronizes my file with my remote server. I'm going to open this file for you to see. Gulp sync. This is the one. So I rsync into my folder, go into... this is my SSH, which I use environment variables for, so you don't see my credentials. This is the destination, and I just clean it up. So this is what I do when I want to deploy. And then there is a deploy CI, which basically means I use circle CI. If you take a look at my file structure here, this would deploy my website daily onto my blog. So that's what I do. The circle CI part is important because if you look in my post folder, I actually have articles that I've written for months ahead. So for example, I already have articles for June 10 because I release one article each week. And I don't want to show it in my blog or have Google pick it up before June 10. So right today is 6 March. And the earliest article you see is 4 March. So this is why the daily deploy is important, because you only see up to this article and nothing else. So this is how I configure my blog for deployment. I hope that answers things. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want this underline thing anymore. I think I explain it inside multi-gradient links. Did I? Not here. Yeah, the text decoration looks ugly at large font sizes, but they're okay at normal font sizes. This is I tried so hard to make the text decoration, this line, look a little bit nicer, and the code is totally not worth it in my opinion. So let me just show you the code, and it's really complex. This is a link. This much code goes into a link. There's this link underline and link shadow, which, let me just show it to you. I think it's under here. Link underline looks like this, and link shadow looks like this. So much code. So much code. I think I'm going to do is to remove all of them. And probably add a text decoration of underline back. This will be one of the biggest changes. So I should probably save what I had done so far. So these are the files, git add. Okay, so there's nothing much here. I'm gonna clean up the links in that case. Links will be a big part of the cleanup, because links go everywhere. So links. Hello, monkey gone. Monkey has gone to heaven. Okay, so cleaning up the links. What am I gonna do to clean up the links? I'm gonna make things simple. Remove all the includes first of all. I'm gonna keep the link primary thing because I think I used it somewhere else. Okay, remove all the link includes. This is probably in my words part. With a link A tag. Yeah, link primary, this is where I have it. So I need an underline. To make the link stand out. Okay, it's not as beautiful as before, but it's not. See, let's look at a little difference. This look way nicer for the underlink, but even with text decoration underline, it doesn't look that bad. I think, but the code is so much simpler. I'm still in a bit of a dilemma because it really doesn't look, the text underline really doesn't look good with my current text, which is Frick Sans. If you compare it to Adele Sans, the underline looks kind of okay. So maybe I shouldn't remove this part, but it just irritates me so much because my code is very complicated with this. Sometimes the things you do, you go to the lengths of a design. Yeah. Well, let's see. Why do I have a link that is a class of button? In the navigation, there's a button. There is. All my buttons are with button elements. I don't have a link that looks like a button, so that's good. So first thing of all, to clean up the button styles, can remove this. I might need this the A O button flat though. I don't think so. Now with that out of the way, let's change this, the O button to button, because it makes much more sense to me. Maybe not, because it will interfere with the data outline part. Okay. Oh no. I used the O button mix in so many places. Okay, let's change this first. Can I use... Okay, this works. Mix in button. I probably don't need a mix in, but I'm just gonna keep it there first. Button theme color, background color, that's fine. For secondary, I'm just going to move this down so I can remove the secondary part. Okay, and I somehow seem to need the secondary button. Alright, it's here. Where do I need this? Oh, the convert key subscribe form. So for that one, it's this. Oh wait, yeah, this button, because we can't. I need that. I need that because I had to create a button mix-in for it. Because I cannot simply change the HTML from a third-party HTML. I can't change it, so I have to use a mix-in. That makes sense why I have this button. Now let's see, where do I have flat? This is so hard. In navigation, I have a flat button. So that's the menu button. This one. Why is it flat? I don't think it's flat in any way. It's just smaller. Since there's only one place I use it, let me put it inside nav instead. This is a special case for a special button. do I have it? Okay, this is my HTML. I'm gonna remove the button flat and say this. Let's call this main nav to make things a little bit simpler. Active link, active link. See, this is the link is making me so complicated. I made too many mix-ins back then. It's too complicated. Try to make things a little bit simpler right now. So main nav. Button. This would work, I think. I'm gonna call this button instead. That would have a padding from the flat side. This should work. And I'm gonna say button for this one. Should be able to remove this. And since I want to follow this format, I think it's easier for me to read nowadays. So button with type equals to primary. But this wouldn't make sense. Never mind. Let's put it that way first. So data type equals to primary. Yep, okay, it's working again. I don't think I need a border. Okay, this looks okay. I kind of want to create a border radius for a bit. A small border radius will probably make it look the site look a bit more friendly. So maybe like 4 pixels or 6 pixels border radius. 4 perhaps. I think this looks okay. No, I need to let's change the border radius another day. It's about 5:30 right now, and you have half an hour left. I want to fix up the buttons first, because if I change border radius, I have to work with the input styles and text area styles as well, and that is going to take up a bit more time. I'm gonna keep it a little bit more focused. Now this is the primary one. I changed the flat one, so I removed it altogether. So in this case, I can remove display, condense typeface, can remove this and simply let my button all my buttons should have these things. So I'm not going to do any more includes because that thing makes things a little bit harder. This should make more sense. I don't have an O button at all, so I can remove this. Primary, the next thing I want to do is to change away all the primary into this format. So let me just go and search for all button primary. And the only place I use it right now is this. Okay. O button. It'll be button with a data type equals to primary. Alright, now I can remove O button primary from my SCSS file. This looks so much better. And the next thing I'll work on is secondary. So let's take a look. I have a secondary in my form. I have a secondary in my index style. Sorry, this is the convert kit. And then the rest is in my button.scss. Okay. This makes things a little bit simpler. So what I can do in this case is to change the, where was that again? Form. I'm gonna change this to button and say data type equals to secondary. This should make things a little bit clearer. This, I should be able to see it here. No, not this one. Contact, I think. Yep. So I need to change this back. The secondary part back. Okay, I can do this. I don't need this anymore. The primary buttons should still work. Yep. Yeah. Secondary buttons would have these colors. I need the mix in because of the convert kit third party button. I'm gonna put it up there first. And the colors. Okay, so this is what I had. And it looks much better compared to before. It's not so complicated anymore. And the code doesn't really change at all. Except, well, there's this part where I have to change the hover, focus, and active states manually in each portion. Let's set it to, yep. Because the data type primary and secondary and outline has a higher specificity. In that case, I don't need this here. The color. I think we can do this. Let me just. It's the same color. It's not ideal. I think I would want to think of a different way. Maybe not using this data secondary kind of thing. But we'll see what happens. And we can have the button mix in. Secondary button mixin. Do I need a secondary button mixin? I think I do need one because this will make it much easier to style the button in my third-party provider, because I can't touch the HTML. It doesn't work, just doesn't work. Yep, this works now. This works as well. And the menu button works. Okay. So I went from something that is not very nice to something that is still not very nice. That's life. It happens when you're refactoring. Trying to think of a better way, a better idea to improve this. Because if I don't have this part, let's see. Oh wait, button. Yep. I might not need this. Yeah, I need the color to be specified for each thing. In that case, I could have the other type primary to not even exist, because that should be the primary one anyway. So I'm gonna put it back in here. And I can remove the data type primary altogether. So remove this. Remove this. Remove the primary. And remove this. Alright. Now I can remove this altogether. In that case, I can remove most of the I'm just refactoring CSS right now. Yeah, having fun looking at me refactoring buttons and having some problems with the refactor. Now, so what I can do is let's remove this modifiers header. I'm gonna bring the button one higher and create a comment block, I think. Button. this will be the primary button, and then I can say a secondary button, and simply just include the button. And I'm gonna add a command that says mixin, because convert kit okay. Now this makes sense, except I'm not gonna call it OB button secondary. I'm just gonna say secondary button, and I'm gonna change it here, and it should work. Yep. And since I have a secondary button, I can simply include secondary button. I'm pretty sure I had a comment block somewhere. I don't really like the star comment blocks, so I'm just going to change it around. And that's it. I think I'm done with refactoring the buttons. So still not as clean as I would love it, but at least there's a clear segregation of why we use like mixins to create a secondary button, for example. So it makes more sense. And what's important is the code makes sense when I read it the next time round. So basically, I removed a lot of the styles under shame and moved it back into different components. Some of them I moved it into the specifics into posts, for example, so they do not clutter up the namespace. That's it for today. I think we're good to go. Good stream, good refactor. Maybe next time, the next week, I'm gonna do something different and not work on my blog anymore. Maybe I'm gonna do some design stuff or something. We'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. In via email. And with that, I think we can end the stream for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending the time with me. Hope you learned something and hope this was useful. See ya. I need to stop my stream.